onions planted today. It is super late for starting onions because typically they'd be going out into April into the garden. It is already February 10th, so I am going to get my soil mixed up in this. I do want to wash it first because the last thing that was in this is obviously litter. I don't want whatever that is in my onions. So I'm gonna give it a good scrub. If I should really sanitize that versus just washing it. I guess we'll find out this year. But it is what it is. So we are gonna get, onions are a huge hit here. We put them in just about everything I cook. So I definitely want to get a bunch planted. Realistically, I don't know if all of these will survive because I am going to plant them in red solo cups because it's a nice deep. It's what I have on hand. I don't think I'll have to up pot them doing this that way. So we're gonna test this out. It might be a fail. If it is, no big deal. I will buy them from the Amish who sell them at a very affordable price. I am using the Burpee seed starting mix. I believe this is Soilless, which is, yeah, it's made with the coconut core, which means that I don't have to do anything about worrying about sterilizing and all that stuff. So I am using what I have today. So that's why we're using red solo cups and a litter container. I'm gonna get this. I want this to be a little wet. I don't want it to be sopping and unusable. So I'm gonna dump. I don't know how much I'll realistically need. Get my hands in there, mix it up. I definitely need more than that. What are you doing? Go away. Go away. Alright, this feels like a good texture to me. It is not like, when I squeeze, when I squeeze it, it kind of holds together, but it's not like dripping wet. So let's get at least a couple of these cups filled up. I'm going to put the towel down. That way I don't make a massive mess. I don't think I need it to go all the way to the top. Give it a little bit of space. A little bit more than that. Yeah. Gave it about 1/8 of an inch or so from the top. And I'm gonna fill up just what I have in soil here. And this is, I am not an expert by any means. I have never been successful seed starting, so this may be the worst idea ever. I might be using the wrong soil, might be way too late. We do, typically our onions are done in like July. I'm thinking we should be able to still get them into August or September. So while I am about a month late on them, I'm hoping I can still get some decent sized onions in the ground by the end of April. We'll see. We will see where 6 get us. Okay, and then I'm going to want to mark these. So let me find a massive Sharpie, I guess. I want to we'll wait on these. I don't want a lot of bunching onions. I know we won't use a lot of them, so we will start with our cipollini onions from M.I. Gardner. You will notice I'm not really starting any red onions. We don't eat enough of them. They're a little bit too potent. They have an overpowering taste. So we choose to not grow them. That is a lot. And I will probably have to thin these out a little bit, but my thought is that when you buy them in the store, when they're in like sets, starts, whatever, they are very close together, and all they did was pull the dirt off the bottom. So we will see. This might be a big fail, but hopefully it's not. Hopefully I can get some onions. And if not, we will buy them from our Amish buddies that are not very far from us. They do a great job where I fail. So we will, let me mark that. That Sharpie is ridiculous. And then I have Walla Wallas and Utah Yellow Sweet Spanish onions. So I think I'm gonna do 2 of each of those, and then I guess I made about the perfect amount to also do my bunching onions. And then I looked it up. These do not need a heat mat. I do have heat mats for my tomatoes and my peppers. And then our garage is where I'm gonna keep these. It might be a little too cold in there, so I might put a heat mat on for a day or two just to help warm up the dirt. But I haven't decided. Mine aren't fancy enough to have a setting for the heat, and Google says if I can get the soil temp in the 70s. So I kind of think this is a nice deep. I think if I put them on a heat mat for right now and then turn the heat mat off in a day or so, it'll help with the germination process. Again, not an expert. Do what you know is best. I have no idea what I'm doing most days. I am just winging it. Okay, and then we have, I don't know if the bunching onions need a little bit more space. Like whenever I see other people doing this online, it tends to be that they also just crowd their onions. It seems to be the best way to do it, and then to thin out from there. Bunching onions, I don't know that I've ever actually seen anybody plant bunching onions. Do I just plant them in the ground? Because they would grow faster. No, it says to start indoors 8 to 10 weeks. So the same, I'm definitely behind because 8 weeks from now would be, I actually might be okay. They're gonna go in a little late. I think by the end of April will be about 10 weeks. So I think it'll be okay. Hopefully they will be just fine. And like I said, if not, we have friends who know how to do this way better than I do. They've been doing it for a long time. Where did I put that there? That is a lot of seeds compared to the other ones. So I will definitely have to thin these out. That was 250 where I was putting 75 in the other. Oh, I guess the yellow ones, the Utah Yellow Sweet were also 250. And then the Cipollinis were 150. So I'll probably have to thin these out a decent amount, but this is a decent place to start. I don't need 150, 300, 800 regular onions and then 250 bunching onions. That is wildly unnecessary for what we're doing. So it is okay if I have to take a few out of here. It will not be the end of the world. Well, at least those were the bunching onions. In case I didn't say, not a perfect house, not a perfect gardener. I mess things up a lot. So we are not surprised at all that I just did that. So we really might not get much out of the bunching onions at all, because they might just be on my table now. And I just wanted to water those in, even though the dirt is watered. I wanted to make sure I didn't think about it and use the dry dirt. These things are so small. I think they're all in here, but they really might be in the bottom. I don't know. So we will see if we get bunching onions. I forgot to mark this one. This one was Walla Walla. This one is also Walla Walla. All right, now it's time to go put them on the grow lights. My thing on a timer, I just had it turned off since I don't have, maybe I don't have it turned off. There we go. Since I just had nothing under it, but it is set to go from like 7 to 7, just to hopefully be roughly same-ish time. And then I have these once they start to sprout. Nothing fancy. I can link in the description where I got these lights and the fan. I think the lights are just from Home Depot. I've had them for a year or two, and this is the first time I've actually used these, so I don't know if they're going to be great. The ones that I had before were not great. They worked, but I got real leggy, so hopefully I will be able to get some better ones. And I actually think I'm going to lower this a little bit. It's nothing fancy, it's just the little clips. I think they're called carabiner clips, and a chain. And then as they start to sprout, I will move this up so that way they have space to grow. But right now I just don't want them to be super leggy and just be reaching for the light. So that is my onions. So thank you for joining me.